Hello. Today you are going to do a quick review with me on multiplication and what we have learned because it's time to take your mid-assessment. Remember, a few weeks ago we took our pre-assessment on multiplication to see what we needed to learn. Well, we have been learning so much. So let's review a few things before you take your mid-assessment. Okay, so let's first talk about the tricks we know. When we multiply by 0, the number's answer, the product, is always 0. When we multiply by 1, the answer or product is always the other number. When we multiply by 2, the product or answer is always double the other number. When we're multiplying by 5, we count by 5s. When we multiply by 10, we count by 10. Those are the tricks we have already learned. Hey, let's look at some of our more information, our vocab words. The two numbers that are multiplied are called the factors. What they equal, or the answer, is called the product. Factors are multiplied, the product is the answer. Now remember, we can switch the factors. We can go 2 times 5 and get a product of 10, or we can go 5 times 2 and get a product of 10. We can switch the factors. We have also learned about equal groups. The first number in the multiplication equation is 5. That is how many groups there are. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups. The second number, 2, means how many are in each group. We have 2 dots in each group. The answer or product is 10 because there are 10 green dots total. We have also learned about arrays. Arrays have rows and columns. The first number, when we're doing an array, is how many rows there are, and rows go across. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. The second number is how many columns there are, or you can think of it as how many in each row. We have 2 in each row, 2 in each row, with a product or answer of 10 total. We have also learned repeated addition. The first number is how many times you add. The second number is the number you're adding. So we have 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 gives us a product of 10. Look at all the amazing things that you guys already know how to do. The last thing that we have been learning is called the distributive property. This is where you break apart a larger equation into 2 smaller equations to make it easier to multiply. We have a big equation of 7 times 4. This is really big, but we can break it apart into small equations we can do. We broke it up into 7 times 2. We chopped it right down the middle. We didn't get rid of any, and we didn't do a zigzag line. We did a nice, straight, solid chop. So we have 7 times 2, and that gave us 14 because we're really good at our 2's. Then we had another equation, 7 times 2 gives us 14. Then we put those 14's back together to give us 28. So we just solved 7 times 4 equals 28. That's using the distributive property. Let's look at one more on the distributive property. Remember, when you're doing this break apart, you are only breaking apart one number. So here's our equation, 7 times 4. I broke it apart this time differently. The 7 is the number I'm breaking apart. I broke it into a 5 and a 2 because I'm really good at 5's and 2's. So now I have 4 that I kept the same. I did not break the 4 apart, so it's the same. So we have 5 times 4. That gave us 20. Then we have 2 times 4. That gave us 8. Then you have to add those two together to get 28. So 7 times 4 equals 28. All right. You guys, if you need to rewatch this video to refresh your memory, please do so. But let's go ahead and look at the assessment that you'll be taking. Please type your name right here. Remember, this is a test. It's for you. It's not for Google. It's not for your parent. It's not for your brother or sister. It's for you. Do your best. Please show what you know, what not anyone else knows, but what you know. When you're finished, go back and double check everything. Take your time. Don't rush this. Here we go on this slide. There are some words. When you see words, you need to read them. It says use these circles and dots to create equal groups. Let's read the equation. Use equal groups to solve the following equation. The equation's right here. Use these circles and these dots to show equal groups. Same with this one. Use equal groups. Use the dots and the circles. On number 3, it says, the drawing shows Tyler's pet spiders. Here are his pet spiders. He puts them in equal rows and columns. Write a multiplication equation about the picture. So you're going to put your equation right up here on the top. Then it says, explain what each number in the equation means. What does this number mean? Is it rows or columns or equal groups? What about this number? What about this number? Down here, you're going to type what it means. This one says draw an array. Use these little flowers to make the array that shows this equation. Same here. Draw an array. Use these little cars to make this array. Again, on this one, you have a picture right here. Show the equation it forms and what the numbers in the equation mean. Please read this and see what you're supposed to do. Again, read. What about this one? Remember switching the factors. And then you have a break apart one. It says 9 times 6 by breaking apart the 6. You're not breaking apart the 9, you're breaking apart the 6. In the first one, you're going to put your big equation, then your 2 small equations, just like I showed in the preview. If you need to watch that again, please do so. And the same with this one. And this one says Sam and Ellen have baskets. Here's their baskets. Sam has 3 and Ellen has 4. Each basket holds 3 apples. Complete the table to show the total number of apples. Okay, congratulations! You got to the end. Double check all your work. Make sure you've completed each slide and then turn it in through the Google Classroom. Remember, please do your best on this.